Heat lose last night. They fall to the Knicks 112-103. Jimmy Buckets with his lowest scoring output of the playoffs. He's been averaging over 34 points. He scored 19 points last night. 7 rebounds. I mean, he really filled up the stat sheet all over the place. It's just that, with Jimmy Butler, like, you need him to be you need Jimmy Butler to be the best player in the world. That's what's kind of made this whole run special. And he was good yesterday. It wasn't like a bad Jimmy Butler performance. Like, it was a B Jimmy Butler performance. And I feel like the Heat, they need Jimmy Butler to, they need Jimmy Butler at an A or at least a B plus. And I felt like, they just he just didn't have that same level of aggressive.
You respect us.
Who?
You.
Oh, listen.
You said B plus A Jimmy performance,
Oh, dude. Well, listen.
Right.
I know what the team is. The team doesn't have Tyler Hero. You need Jimmy Butler to be one of the best scorers in these playoffs for the Heat to win. That's like when Leroy was making fun of me last round and he goes, "Why are you picking the Heat?" And I'm just like, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I'm not breaking news here. I think that the Heat, are they too Jimmy Butler reliant? I don't know. I mean, it's a topic. I mean, I do feel like the role guys have played really well around him. But he's their go-to guy. He's their star. And if Jimmy Butler is going to play, facilitating regular season style Jimmy Butler, yeah, I don't know how many games they're going to win. Like, now, they almost did, which is why I think you should be nervous, Vlad, because he's not going to do that again.
And he's raised the standard so high for himself heading into that game, scoring 34 per game in the playoffs, that just based on him being under 20 last night, it has like a lot of Heat fans like, wait, was he hobbled? Is the ankle bothering him? He's standing in the corner a lot. It's like, I don't know. I mean, he's obviously been playing through that ankle for the last couple of games, and Jimmy is never 100% healthy. He's always playing through something. I just think people really put that under a microscope in a game where he's just a little bit less potent offensively than he usually is. People are starting to look for reasons or excuses as for why that happened. I think Jimmy's going to bounce back and have a monster game in game.
I think there's an element to look. I do think it takes Jimmy I think there's an element that Jimmy has to ramp up and know when to flip on that like super mode that he has to go into. I don't think that he looked at that game last night as one of those. I think that he saw probably what they did in game 2 where they didn't have him. Remember where he's nodding on the sidelines like a maniac. And I think he probably thought to himself, look, if I can feed my shooters and we can nail any shots, we're going to win this game. They just unfortunately failed him up until like the end when Duncan Robinson started getting cooking. But Kevin Love, Gabe Vincent, Strus, they just didn't have that touch. But they were developing. They were setting up a really good chance. I think if the Heat go back and watch the film on this game, they're going to be like, you know what? We just didn't knock down the shots, but the execution on stuff was pretty good. So I'm not saying it was a bad strategy by Jimmy. I just think they probably needed him to go into that killer mode a little bit quicker. And I think it just took him a little bit. But, as far as worry concerned, I'd put it at like a 0.5 of where they are right now. Like, no, I think they're going to TCB tomorrow night, dude. I think the fact that they were even in that at all, Dono, with how bad they were with the fouling yesterday, and a lot of them were just not even, they were fouls not even on the ball. Like, they were fouling guys off to the side, and the Knicks were in the bonus. And look, I will give you credit, Vlad. Jalen Brunson was a monster yesterday, and I feel like if that's one of the best Knicks playoff performances you could go back to in a long, long time. That guy's bona fide in that city, I'm sure, for what he did yesterday.
Yeah. He doesn't have to pay for a meal ever.
Yeah, he we'll always have game 5.
and that's the way, and that's the way we want to see Jimmy play in game 6.
Oh God, I want to see your face on Monday with a game 7
it's
on the
line. It's not
line.
gonna happen, dude.
I am going to jinx this.
It makes sense because up until that Jalen Brunson game, that was the best thing to happen to the Knicks since Lynn's sanity, right? That was really like the most. That was the most exciting thing to happen since then.
Another thing the Heat ended. Lynn's sanity.
That's right.
Courtesy of Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers.
Oh, courtesy of he's about to get paid and doesn't want to get destroyed and exposed by the Heat. He didn't play that series. You know this? Yeah. Remember that?
Oh, I'm talking about the actual regular season.
Oh no, that actual regular season. That's the reason why he didn't want to play in that series.
Shook.
He was so shook.
I want to get to this. So it's interesting. We had so many talks about concussions with Tua. It swarmed us, Donna, how much we were talking about it. Have you seen some of the reaction around the country on this Anthony Davis thing? Like last night. So if you guys didn't see late last night, Anthony Davis going for a rebound. Kevon Looney hits him in the side of the head, and he's shaken up by it. Like he's looks pretty dazed on the bench, and apparently they wheeled him in a wheelchair back to the locker room. And I get it. Anthony Davis is injury prone. The guy has the nickname Street Clothes for a reason. But like, dude, did you see yesterday when they got the news of that? How much Shaq and Charles Barkley, they were dying laughing about this on the desk. And I'm not sensitive to this stuff. Like, I get it. Like, we can, you guys know we like to have silly sauce on the show as much as next time. But then I heard Stephen A this morning, and Stephen A's like giving Anthony Davis the business for taking a shot to the head.
I'll be damned if I wasn't laughing. I'm like, concussion. I thought the NFL season was over. You understand? Now, I understand that concussions can happen in other sports, boxing, UFC. And I mean, if the collision is fierce enough, I guess it can happen in basketball too. But damn, I ain't seen nothing yesterday that made me say concussion. Concussion. Now, I don't know if it's true. Did the wheelchair get him to the locker room? I'm not sure. Is that true, Jay?
Yes, that's why they were dying.
A wheelchair? Wheelchair? Really? That's where we are? Listen, if you are LeBron James, this has got to be, listen, I hope Anthony Davis, I got to actually sit here and say this. I hope Anthony Davis is okay.
See, that's what
really, I got
no
to really
say
say look, man, we got to stop. We got to stop it, man. We got to stop it. It's the playoffs, man. I mean, damn it, was he running over the middle and got hit by Ronnie Lott or something? Did I miss something? Did I miss it? Is Ray Lewis still playing? Ray Lewis in a Los Angeles Lakers uniform? I mean, did he get hit by Aaron Donald? Did I miss something, Jay Williams? Did I miss something? Because I just show Jay Williams right now.
Okay.
I mean, did I miss something?
That's nasty,
dude.
That's terrible.
That is the weirdest take I've ever heard. It's
this is the thing that's crazy about it. Like, we're making fun of this guy getting concussions. I am months removed from the people wanting the Dolphins in handcuffs because Tua is going to go play football.
That's horrible.
I'm thinking to myself, like, wait a minute. Do you guys care about this stuff or do we not care about this stuff? Like, I'm sorry. If Stephen A. Smith were to just sit there idly by and Kevon Looney, monster of a man, hits him with his elbow in the side of the temple, how do you think he's going to feel?
Yeah, let Kevon Looney hit Stephen A. in the side of the temple. I bet you the rest of that hairline is gone.
Well,
that's messed up.
The weird thing about this is if he had the exact same take about, Tua getting taken off the field in a stretcher, if he had been laughing, like he would have had to issue a public apology after doing that segment if it was about an NFL player.
Right.
You do it about an NBA player, and like everybody's got that same take, as you mentioned, Charles and Shaq, and then
They're
Stephen
laughing
A.
at him.
The extra. Like, weird. Like, do people not understand? A concussion is a concussion.
I thought we take this stuff seriously. I thought I thought we're beyond. This is just getting your bell rung. That this is supposed to be like. I get it. It's basketball, but like also these are giant people, and you got hit in the side of the head. Like, look, Tua's hits. All of them were not bang. You got hit like a head-on collision. All of them were hitting his head on the back of the turf, like on weird. Other than the Cincinnati one, on like kind of weird tackles that he snapped back. That's why he's taking jiu-jitsu and he's gonna choke your ass out now. But I just like, wait a minute. You guys all are telling me that the Dolphins quarterback is basically not fit to play the game because too many concussions. And now you have Anthony Davis, who looks like, I mean, I guess it could look like nothing, but I could also see like side of the temple. That's a pretty vulnerable spot that he took. Yeah. And you guys are mocking him. Like, you guys don't care about this stuff. You're such liars.
That's bizarre.
That's nasty work.
Well, and it's crazy how like the narrative around AD, and like I get it, the guy's hurt all the time. But like it's weird how that narrative has become so powerful that no matter what kind of an injury he picks up, they can make fun of this dude with impunity. It's like I don't know, man.
I know. like, oh, he had to get taken back by. Yeah, well, what if he's messed up, dude?
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, it sounds like he's not. It sounds like it just. I mean, I don't know what. Who knows what kind of loopholes they're using in that NBA? We don't. Who's to say? But. And I guess the reports are that he should be available for Game 6. But even still, like, man, if he did get seriously hurt, if he like, wasn't there a theory for a while that Roy Hibbert, what ended him was when LeBron James elbowed him going to the room? Remember when LeBron, when he was on the Heat, he was going to the rim and he got that offensive foul. I've never seen anything like that. And he bones Jones, Roy Hibbert, and Roy Hibbert was never the same.
No,
Like,
he
never the
wasn't.
same after that.
Like,
Yeah.
I really would have loved to see if he was concussed and he was out maybe 2-3 games or maybe the rest of the series. What would they answer? Oh, sorry.
Oh, my bad.
I didn't want to make fun.
Obviously, we wanted to.
Ernie, it was awful for us. It was a terrible
Ernie was
thing.
out. Ernie was not going to laugh. You're
It
not
was
going to get Ernie to
Nah,
laugh.
it was
No, yeah,
terrible.
he's a
It was
professional.
terrible that we made fun of Anthony Davis and we're sorry. I'm sorry. No, you can't do that. That's nasty. That's the same thing they did with the Ryan Garcia. Like, as if you've ever been punched in the liver?
Right.
Has anybody been punched in the liver?
Right.
Thankfully, no. But it looks I've seen it happen enough times. It looks very painful.
It's very painful.
It
Nobody's
shuts your
ever
whole
been
body
punched.
down.
Yes. So until you get punched by a verified knockout artist in Tank Davis, and you take that punch, and let me see how your ribs and your liver gonna feel. Don't start making fun of people.
Well, I just wanted everybody to get the memo, just so we're clear. It is May, and ESPN is no longer concerned with concussions. So just remember, now it will change again, of course, once Tua, if he ever does, Lord Almighty, hit his head, and then again, it's going to be the worst thing that's ever happened in sports. But just so we're clear, on today's date, ESPN is now mocking concussions. They are not concerned by them anymore. It does not involve the Dolphins nor Tua Tagovailoa. Just so we're clear on the status.
It went so far the other direction in the NFL last year. Do you remember that time they ruled Teddy Bridgewater out because they didn't like the way he got up?
Yes.
And then Teddy was just like, yeah, my pop-up game has to be on point. That was one of the best quotes of the season. I got to improve my pop-up game.
You got it. We all gotta just be careful. We can't linger on the ground too much. Otherwise they might just, they may just be, nah, get him out of there. Spotter. Remember the guy's the spotter. Just putting him anywhere. It's like the guy who takes away Max Struess threes out of nowhere.
Yes.
Teddy Bridgewater doesn't look quite right to me. Gets him out of there.